Did you know that easing visa restrictions could potentially boost regional income in Africa or across Africa by hundreds of billions of dollars? I repeat, hundreds of billions of dollars. Today, we are driving into a historic decision by Ghana, the decision to abolish visa requirements for all African citizens. This isn't just a policy change. To me, it's a real game changer for regional integration and economic growth. So let's explore how this landmark decision could reshape the continent's future. Let's do that now. But before then, if issues of Africa and its diaspora and how we could all bundle together to improve and grow as a body of continent is important to you, then I would ask you to subscribe to this awesome channel that would inspire you, that will energize you to take action so that we all collectively can grow, can promote our continent, Africa. So subscribe, like, and share our feed. All right. So without much ado, let's jump into this. So I have a very horrifying personal experience traveling across Africa. And I would want to share this. So in 2023, I visited Egypt, and the purpose of the visit was to attend the largest trade show in Africa, organized by the African Union, the AFCFTA Secretariat, and Afrexim Bank, and I think Africa Development Bank as well was part of it. Those were like the main body, the group that organized it, and by far, it's called the IETF. The IETF is the largest trade show in Africa, period. And in terms of representation, the number of people who attend IETFs all over the world, but I would say 70-80% of all IETF attendees are within Africa. There are few that will come out from Europe and Asia and possibly North America or South America, but overwhelming majority of the people that attend IETF are intra-African. They are based in Africa. So I just wanted to put that in context. So when we were going, or when we decided to go, I got two people who work with me to go on this journey. And we were going to demo a technology which was very powerful. And I didn't even know that Africans needed to get a visa to travel to Egypt. So, and by the time I got to know that we had to travel, we were going to go on that trip, the time was very small. So we did everything possible to get in there in terms of submitting all the paperwork very quickly. So for the two gentlemen who were going to go with me, we submitted the same documents, the same, nothing different. All of them didn't have any travel history. So travel history was not an issue. So we submitted all of that. To me, I thought it was just a formality. And then a day before we were supposed to leave, they we called them to find out when the visas were due, and they said, "Oh, to be due a day before." And actually, mind you, they made us buy the travel tickets before visas were issued. So you buy the travel ticket as proof that you are going for this event, travel ticket, and then letter from IATF, which all of us had it, each one with our names and everything. The day before, realized that one of the team members was denied the visa, and there was no reason at all. We had purchased the ticket, we had done hotel reservations in Cairo and everything, and we like joke, as Africans say, like joke. He was one of them was denied the visa, the other was given the visa. Although all the documentation, everything was the same, nothing different. All of them had clean slate travel history. That was my first. I said, why? I called them. They said, no, we don't give explanations for whatever it is. It's like, to hell with you, basically. So, I knowing what these things, I would say for privilege, or you just providence and privilege, God's favor, all of it mixed together. I happen to have two passports. I have to have two passports. That's dual nationality. So, um, I decided, okay, I will not even bother. Since there's no logic in the way they approve visas, I will not even bother trying to get a visa to travel to Europe. I would just, so I went to on their website, notice that, oh, if you travel with, my second passport, which happens to be a US passport, you can, it's visa free, basically. So I went to Cairo holding two passports. I took my Ghana passport, I took my US passport. And then we went. We arrived in Cairo airport, the two of us, and I just went through like a breeze. Okay, it didn't take me. I'm not exaggerating. When we arrived and we were doing the passport checks and everything, you saw a long line, massive line on the left side, and that line is all people coming from specified African countries. Okay. Then there was another line that says if you have European Union passport, American passport, I think a few other African countries. I think I remember very well. South Africa was one of them. So if South Africa, European Union, US pass, use this line. That line takes 30 seconds to go through. So within 30 seconds, I was out, getting to the carousel to go and get my luggage and then move. The gentleman that I went with, he was holding a Ghana passport. I had to wait close to an hour for him to come. Obviously, the queue was long. So then the horror stories began when we went for the event. And we saw that the event was seriously poorly attended. Then talking to people from nationalities from Ghana, Zambia, Uganda, Nigeria, Malawi, many other African countries, particularly those in West Africa, the horror stories was terrible. So most of these organizations, those who attend these events, they are SMEs, that's a small to medium-sized enterprise. That's the overwhelming majority. There are large corporations like Dangote's and UBA's and the likes, Access Bank, those big corporations that attend. But I would say the overwhelming majority are small to mid-sized organizations that go there because of their in-country export promotion authorities that sponsors them to be a part of such events, which is standard practice anywhere. So most of these small mom and pop companies, remember, shipped, because they have to have wares to display, they shipped their products, let's say a month or two ahead of time. They shipped it. And after shipping that, they realized that their goods arrived at the destination, in this case, Cairo. And for no fault of theirs, their visas were denied. So here's a small mom and pop company that is cash flow strapped. The little resource that they have used that resource to buy goods so that they could exhibit to get some kind of exposure continent-wide to expand their business. But they were denied visas. So they are stuck in Nigeria or stuck in Ghana or stuck in Guinea, Conakry, or Burkina Faso, and their goods are in Cairo. Just think about the mess. That good, if it's perishable, if it's like food commodity or food, whatever it is going to take probably another 2 months if they would even bother to ship it back. And think about it, who is going to pay for that? So all that investment just goes down the drain like that. That's just one side. So you went to some of the exhibition booths, their trade associations, or actually their in-country export Promotion Authority did well to clear the goods, brought them to their stands. You could see literally their stands, the goods are sitting there in front of their stands, right? And nobody is there to unpack the products to display them. So you go to booths like the Nigeria Pavilion, there are so many of them. So many of them were denied visas. You go to, I think Nigerians were hit the hardest. Ghana Pavilion, you had incidences like that. Go to Uganda, Guinea, Burkina Faso, all these different Angola, they were hit with this. Okay. Number two, one of the things that really hit me as the event was going on, some of them were detained at the airport. So I knew people from Nigeria, people from even Ghana, Mali, Guinea, Togo, who they had visas. They entered Cairo, and me holding an American passport, it took me 30 seconds to just clear immigration. To them, for some of them, it took them 9 hours. They were just asked, sit here and wait. We are doing our checks for 9 hours. So they spent 5 hours, 6 hours traveling from their home country to Cairo, spent another 9 hours waiting. Why am I saying that? This is the continent they belong to. But the treatment that most Africans get outside their home country is as horrific, even if not even more, than treatment they would get maybe when they go to maybe London or Paris or New York or anywhere in the Western world. So I was sitting there saying, why are we treating our own like this? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absurd that the only place that you could say, this is my home, like a continent, you are not welcome to travel. I mean, intra-Africa travel is a challenge. This is why the move by Ghana is, to me, exemplary. And I'm just gonna pivot in the sense that I'm glad to announce that it's not just Ghana that has made this move. As recently as a few days ago, Kenya has also followed suit. So in the same too, if you hold an African passport, you can travel to Kenya without any visa at all. If you hold any African passport, you can travel to Ghana. So assuming the IATF was being held in Accra or Kumasi or any of these major cities in Ghana, anyone can participate in that biggest trade show without a hitch. And that was the experience that I saw when I went to IATF, interacting with people. And I think, yes, the organizers too didn't do their best. I think yes, they did all the branding, the show, the theatrics, and all those kind of things. But I think this part was a major Achilles heel in terms of getting the Egyptian authorities to help small mom and pop businesses who, I can tell you, interacting with some of them, because of all these visa issues, attendance was very, very poor. I was there all through the entire 7 days. Myself, my team, we were there. We saw it with our own eyes. Nobody can sugarcoat it or throw anything at it. We were there. We saw it was poorly attended. Many of the companies that we interacted with said they will never attend this kind of IATF event again. If it's going to be held in North Africa, they will never attend because of what they experienced. Right. And I would say to buttress it, I think Ghana is doing phenomenal, or Ghana has done a phenomenal job at that. But Ghana is not alone in this. So there are other countries that has done this, opening their borders to free movement of people on the continent. So you have countries like Benin, right? Benin. So one of them, Seychelles, which is an island in Africa, is one of those. You have an African passport, you can just pack your bags and just travel there. Gambia is another. Rwanda Rwanda is another, and I love Rwanda. And very soon I will be doing a country by country takedown of some of the top performing African countries. Rwanda is going to be one of them. I'm going to do a country takedown. So in the next couple of weeks, you will be fascinated by what you're going to be hearing. So Rwanda is one of those. And then last but not the least, the latest country that has joined the club is Kenya. My the import of this presentation or this episode is, I believe more African countries should do this. What I saw should never be repeated. What I saw in Cairo should never be repeated anywhere. Because this is the reason why. There's serious economic benefits to be gleaned if we open our borders to each other. Yes, I know there are going to be possible red flags or downsides. We'll talk about that. But the upside far outweigh the downside. So the serious economic benefit, and one of them that I clearly stated was that opening our borders is going to cause an influx of income boost to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars every year. Secondly, it's going to see the surge in inclusion, basically inclusion, people feeling a part of each other. We Africans, we've been divided for so long. So if we get the opportunity to come together via open border travel, it's going to bring us together even closer. It's also going to help reduce poverty because when you have free movement of goods and people, it spurs innovation, it spurs entrepreneurship, it unlocks opportunity in terms of business, right? So that is very, very key. And then to buttress it all, there is the goal of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, the AFTA or AFCFTA, is to ensure a seamless integrated market for Africa. And a seamless integrated market for Africa literally means free movement of goods and people across the entire continent. Africa is a continent of 54, if I'm not mistaken, 54 countries. Right now, I can count on my finger. I think so. You take Benin, the Gambia, Rwanda, Seychelles, Ghana, and Kenya. So 6 out of 54 countries have an open border policy that you can travel anywhere. What are the other 49 doing? We need more countries following suit. We need more countries following suit to just spur innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship across the entire length and breadth of the continent. That is my belief. And I think my belief is also enshrined. I think the African Union has some kind of an agreement they came to. I think it's I can't remember on top of my head what the name of the agreement is, but something has to do with by 2063, the entire Africa must be integrated in terms of open borders, free movement. But 2063 is too long. We can make it. We can bring it a little bit closer by following what Ghana, in this case, Ghana and these 5 other countries have done, which is seriously commendable. I think 2017 or so, I had a similar experience. I traveled to Mozambique, and it was no different. I think Mozambique allows free travel for South Africans and a few SADC countries. Apart from that, every other country in Africa, you need a visa to enter Mozambique. It's the same thing. You have to sit there. But once again, I presented my foreign passport at Mozambique, and it was a breeze. I just walked through. So why is it that foreigners are able to freely move about on our continent, but we ourselves, we can't move about? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense at all to me. So let's look at, for me, one of the greatest boosts for Ghana and these 6 other African countries is going to be the impact on tourism. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Can you imagine if you are, and I'm going to invite my brothers and sisters in the diaspora, but before then, let's hold a thought here. We've just launched or created a private online community where African diaspora professionals and business owners can come together and meet African based professionals and business owners so that we can all collaborate, share ideas, share best practices, all with the objective to help develop our continent faster. So if you are interested in joining this, it is free. Join us, find diasporaexperts.com, and then we'll all begin to connect together. We network, we share ideas, we you never know when the magic happens when we connect. So anyway, that's just by the side. I was going to say for our friends in the diaspora. So I'm just going to throw this challenge. So if you're in the diaspora and actually you're looking for an investment opportunity, look at it this way. Particularly if Ghana or any of those 6 countries appeal to you, there's a major opportunity to invest in the area of building anything like recreational facility, anything that has to do with tourism or that can attract tourism. I know Kenya does very well in the area of tourism. I don't think so much about the other nations, but that they could really ride on the back of this free visa policy with investment, particularly coming from the diaspora, where you're building hotels, restaurants, and I would say culturally appealing tourist sites like big amusement parks, theme parks, that has some kind of cultural linkages. If you were watching you in the diaspora and you want to invest in that, particularly if you want to do that in Ghana, there's a huge opportunity. Maybe not so much about Accra, but maybe a little bit in the countryside, the other places, the Volta region, the Ashanti region, the Western region, all those kind of places where they are like cultural monuments or things that have cultural value, and you can package a nice resort around them and market it to Africa. That will be a huge opportunity because a lot of people will come because Ghana is a very peaceful country. I know Rwanda is also a very, very peaceful country. So this is a huge opportunity for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora to look into it. Do your own due diligence though. But I think to me it's a massive wave that you can ride on it. And most of the time, the best investments are investments that you can just simply ride a wave. And this is a wave, the wave of boosting intra-African tourism. I know a friend, he's a business person. He does well in his business. And one of the things that he does, I don't know about it, but he travels quite a bit. He went to Equatorial Guinea, and he told me that, oh man, Isaac, I'm a little bit stressed. Instead of going to Dubai, I just pick an Air Portugal flight from Accra to Equatorial Guinea, which is every day. It's a daily flight. I don't know. So that's what my friend told me. And it costs anywhere between $200 to $300. And he takes his family, and they have some very nice natural scenery and things. And he was sharing some pictures. It was like amazing, breathtaking beaches and things. A lot of opportunity, a lot of places in Africa that we Africans, we don't even know about. If my friend hasn't told me about Equatorial Guinea, I would never have known. But assuming all these things are known, and there's an open border policy, can you imagine the amount of money hotels, restaurants, and service provided in Equatorial Guinea will be making? It will turn the economy around. It will diversify the economy because they are oil producing country. If oil runs out, they will be in trouble. So they could use tourism to diversify the economy by opening their borders. So this is what I am thinking. I know it's a little bit, outstretched out there, a little bit, it sounds a little bit crazy, but I think it's the right thing to do. So in terms of opportunity, That's right. So I really, really want our leaders to consider accelerating this visa-free travel policy for Africans. That is my view. So if you are watching this and you haven't subscribed, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you have a personal story, about the impact of visa restrictions, as I had, on how, or the impact of visa restrictions in Africa, or how you are planning to take advantage of this new policy in Ghana or in Kenya, how you plan to take advantage of it, drop a comment below. Share some of your ideas with us. We would want to know. Drop a comment and let's all learn from your experiences. If it's a bad experience, share it. If it's a great experience, to share it. If you whatever ideas you have to take advantage of this wave, also share it. Put it in the comment. We would want to know. We want to review that. We want to talk about that. Until next time, let's keep building a stronger, unified Africa together. Peace and blessings.